I wonder if that was the strategy of Mark Magsayo to, here, let me mute this. I wonder if that was the strategy of Mark Magsayo to be leaning and ducking all low like that, and the holding to have the very aggressive high punch volume Brandon Figueroa have to reset. There was 2 point deductions because of the holding, and I think those point deductions were warranted. And if he were to lose the fight, I'm going to say he lost the fight because of those 2 point deductions. Now, it was a tale of 2 halves to where Magsayo slowed down tremendously. You know, conditioning seems to be an issue. And it makes you wonder maybe if he should be moving up in weight. But also, when you're dealing with a fighter like Omar Figueroa, who just so happens to be one of the most easiest fighters to hit in the sport, while he dishes it out, it also makes you wonder, like, okay, well, he did have to deal with a lot of pressure, and that shit overall is going to tire you out. That's the holding right there that we're talking about, the point deductions. But the ducking low was really starting to get to me. However, I did notice that Brandon kept digging the uppercuts to the body every time he would lean over. And the body shots, you know, will take a toll on you. But look, he's just, you know, and he's initiating a lot of the holding. Let's turn it up. Round number 11.
Taylor would take another point away. And in that round, it was not a round in which Magsayo kind of dominated, so you could almost see it being a 10-8 round for Figueroa. We'll see.
We're going to listen to the scorecards. I have it a draw or Brandon Figueroa because of the point deductions. It'll be definitely point deductions. Look at the punch stats.
Yeah, and as we look at this, interesting
Pause
number.
it if you have to.
Figueroa only landed 8 more body punches than Magsayo. I know he wanted to do more of that than he ended up doing. The numbers extremely close. That's not surprising.
593 thrown to 653 for Figueroa. Magsayo 593. 179 landed for Magsayo. 176 landed for Figueroa. And the jabs and overall power punches were pretty much very close to being identical.
Titles. Someone's heart's about to be broken.
Let's listen in. By the way, take a time out. Like the video, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at T Street Controversy. I'll put it on the screen after.
Let's go inside the ropes in a nuanced fight in which a lot happened. Early on in the fight, it was Magsayo who was doing a very good job of controlling the ring, though he got hit with that right hook by Figueroa. He kind of controlled the geography of the ring during some of the early rounds heading into the middle of this fight. And how much did the judges give Magsayo at this point? How many rounds would they put in his column? Then Figueroa started really putting a little bit more pressure on as we headed into the middle rounds. And then the moment where the point deduction would come in round number 8. Figueroa continued his attack with...
It was rounds 8 and 11 with the point deductions.
He would hold again enough
holding
so that Thomas Taylor would take a second point away. And finally, in the last round, Magsayo got off to a great start in the round, but Figueroa turned things midway in the round, and he did much more power work.
By the way, it seemed as though Magsayo had the cleaner combinations, especially earlier in the fight. He was lighting Brandon Figueroa up. Let's listen in.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. We have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judges at ringside, Fernando Villarreal and Gary Ritter both score the bout 117 to 109. Judge Zachary Young sees it 118 to 108. All three in favor of the interim WBC featherweight world title. The Heartbreaker,
I don't think
Figueroa.
Those were some bad cards in my opinion. Some really wide scores.
Unanimous decision win for Brandon Figueroa, improving
especially for that first half, and even the punch stats show a closer fight.
126-pound belt, a belt that once belonged to Mark Magsayo, who drops to 24-2. Let's go to Jim Gregg.
Let's listen in.
All right, Mauro, thank you very much. Brandon, congratulations. This was really a tough fight. The scores seem a little lopsided, but how would you describe this fight? It seemed like a war.
Man, I just went out there and wanted it. I took the fight right to him. I wanted this fight so bad. I dominated him. He came back with the little flurries, but I knew that once I caught him with a good body shot, he didn't have no legs under. So I just had to put pressure. And as you guys can tell, I tired him out and I dominated him.
He came straight ahead the entire fight and then would hold on. Did all of the holding bother you? Did it deter your offense?
No, not really. It just didn't really let me get my shots in there. But, he was holding the whole fight. He was feeling the punches to the body, everything. And I just had to apply more pressure. And I knew once that he stopped holding, I knew I could have hurt him, and which I did. But, it was a lot of holding.
Did that aggressiveness play into your hands?
Yeah, of course. I can fight any style, backwards, forwards, lefty, righty. I just felt like I confused him a lot. He didn't know what to do.
How do you feel you did now with this weight? You said before the fight quite comfortable, and now you're at 126, and you're going to have an opportunity for Ray Vargas. But your assessment at this weight?
Man, I just feel strong. I just don't stop. I don't get tired, and I'm relentless. I just come forward, and I just wanted to fight.
So you have Vargas. I know you'd like to finish things up with a rematch with Fulton, but would Vargas be next?
Yeah, whoever wants to fight me, I'm next. I want more world titles, more world champions, and let's get this fights. Let's give this fans a good fight. That's what it's all about.
Brandon, congratulations! Terrific fight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Congratulations, Omar. All right, Mark Magsayo has left the ring, Moro, so we will not have an opportunity to talk to him. Back to you.
I personally think that Figueroa can beat Ray Vargas. However, I will say this. He fights just like his brother, meaning that's not, in my opinion, a good thing. It's only but so far, and this is my opinion, I'm not no casual in boxing, but it's only but so far you can make it in boxing with the type of style of Omar Figueroa. Yeah, he's relentless. Yeah, he throws a lot of punches, but you run into a good boxer. For example, I think those scorecards were wide, but you run into a good boxer. For example, I think that Stephen Fulton can beat him again in a rematch. My personal opinion, he allowed him to outwork him and didn't move around enough. But these cards are wild. 117, 109 on 2, 118, 108. Sheesh. Remember, there were 2-point deductions around number 8 and 11, but still some wide cards, in my opinion. Here is what Steve Farhood had it. 114, 112. But sheesh. And on his card, as you can see, depending on how you viewed round number 11, it could have very well been a draw or a win, give or take some rounds. So the 126-pound division is pretty fractured. Mauricio Lara, yeah, he's got that WBA. Luis Lopez, he's a matchroom fighter. Luis Lopez, Alberto Luis Lopez is a top-ranked fighter. And then you have Isaac Dogbay and Rabisi Ramirez fighting on April the 1st. I forgot the date, but it's on my website, FightView 360. Let's go see when they fight. Let's go see when they fight. April the 1st. April the 1st. So, it's a division where likely you can expect for the winner of Dogbay Ramirez to fight Luis to unify those belts to keep him in-house. And then Mauricio Lara probably because he's over there as well. Matchroom and Top Rank tend to work with each other. I can imagine that they're probably going to go for that 3-belt unification. And then Brandon Figueroa, Ray Vargas are going to be, fighting for that belt until whatever happens with Stephen Fulton and Inoue, which is supposed to happen later on in the spring, in May or so. So I'm expecting for that WBC to stay in the PBC territory to wait for Stephen Fulton to win or lose against Inoue, my personal opinion. But yeah, man, okay, solid card. I'm going to rate this card a B, not a B minus, very close to a B plus. I enjoyed the card from the opener, and Lord knows I forgot these people's name, but I did watch the entire card, even the prelims. I woke up from my nap when the prelims were going on. But Vidal Jr., 19-year-old, got this win over Elijah Garcia. Which one is the 19-year-old? Is it Elijah Garcia? Or was it Vidal Jr., right? No. Garcia, he got the win, 2 undefeated fighters. Jared Swift Hurd got some sick Joker lips. He got his basically mouth cut. He just looks washed and cooked, losing to Jose Resendez. And then a lot of people thought that it was going to be a tough fight for him going in. I didn't get to do a fight week preview, but we're going to be getting back to that on my Fight View 360 Boxing podcast, which is available on all of your podcast listening platforms. Google, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, and all the other shit that you listen to. So, and then Brandon Figueroa versus Mark Magsayo was a nice, solid fight. However, I do think that Brandon Figueroa can beat Ray Vargas, and I'm not really a fan, too much of that fight. But hey, we'll see if I get hype once it gets here. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I am on my way to go watch some UFC.